Welcome to Am I the A-hole, where OP caught his pregnant wife cheating on him, and now he doubts that the baby his wife is carrying is his. Now, OP demands that his wife have a DNA test, but she is not ready for it. I, 35-year-old male, have been married to my wife, Emily, 33-year-old female, for 5 years, and we live in New York. We have a 3-year-old son together. My wife has been in 2 relationships before me, and she had many male friends as well. Honestly speaking, I didn't have any problem with it, but my demand was that she should keep a reasonable distance from her male friends. One of my wife's male friends, Locus, 34-year-old male, moved to France for a job. He visits his hometown almost once every 6 months, and I have met him 2 to 3 times. However, my wife has been friends with him for more than 6 years and often hangs out with him whenever he comes home. Around 7 months ago, my wife went on a trip with her friend Locus. It was a normal thing for us because she had gone with him many times before. At that time, we were trying to conceive. After some time, we took a pregnancy test, and it came back positive. We were very happy about the pregnancy, and I even threw a party for our upcoming child. However, after around 10 weeks of the pregnancy, my wife was at home, and I was at my job when I suddenly became sick. I took half a day off and came home after seeing the doctor. When I reached our bedroom, my wife's phone was lying on the bed, and she was in the bathroom. As the phone was unlocked, I saw her friend's chat box was opened. When I picked it up to see what they were talking about, I saw she had sent him her pregnancy pictures. I was taken aback to see this, and I was confused about why she sent them. But the real shock came when I scrolled up and found that she had not only sent him her pregnancy pictures, but also many new. I was baffled by seeing all this. When she came out, she was terrified to see me with her phone in my hand, and she became confused. Before she could ask for her phone, I showed her the pregnancy pictures she had sent to her friend and asked, "What is going on?" She said that her friend wanted to see her pregnancy pictures, so she sent them. Then, I scrolled through her phone, and I showed her the she had sent to her friend and asked, "What the hell is this?" She was speechless. I asked her why she was cheating on me. Initially, she tried to defend herself and denied that she was cheating on me, but as she was completely defenseless, she admitted that she was in the wrong and immediately apologized for her mistake. Her apology was unusual because she doesn't usually apologize for her mistakes so easily, so I suspected that something was fishy. Since I was feeling unwell, I told my wife that we would discuss the matter in the evening, and I went to bed, but I couldn't sleep due to what I had recently discovered. When I calculated the dates and days of her pregnancy, I began to doubt if the child my wife was carrying might not be mine. During the time we were trying to conceive, my wife's friend was also in New York, and my wife even went on a trip with him. In the evening, I told my wife that I doubted the baby she was carrying was mine. Upon hearing this, her face turned pale, and she insisted that it was my child, questioning why I was being so pessimistic. She said that she had apologized for the mistake she made by sending her to her friend and promised that she would never make such a mistake in the future. I told her that I would only forgive her after a DNA test confirmed the paternity of the child she was carrying, or else I would end our relationship. My wife is unwilling to undergo a DNA test and insists that I should believe her. I am now convinced that the baby she is carrying is not mine and intend to file for a divorce. I am here to reaffirm that I am not an AH, am I? OP is not an AH, and his demand is 100% justified given the fact that when she got pregnant, she was on a trip with his friend. If OP's wife doesn't agree to a DNA test, it is clear that the baby she is carrying is not his, and OP must part ways as soon as possible. I will rate OP 0 out of 5 on the AH scale. As for OP's wife, she is a big AH for sending his to his friend and cheating on her husband. It is really disgusting. So, I would give her 5 out of 5 on the AH scale. Now, let's move on to another Am I the AH, where OP is not ready to adopt his sister's daughter, who was born addicted to heroin, but OP's family is continuously pushing him to consider adoption. My parents died in a car accident 10 years ago, leaving my sister and me devastated. After their passing, my sister, Hazel, 29-year-old female, and I decided to live together. At that time, I was working a part-time job, and my sister was working full-time, earning more than double my salary. She was paying for most of our household expenses. However, after 3 months, my sister told me that she was moving in with her boyfriend William and would no longer be able to help me financially. I would have to cover all my expenses on my own. My salary was low, but it was enough for me to cover my expenses. However, I could not maintain the standard of living I had before our parents' death. After a year of moving in with her boyfriend, she stopped contacting me. Later on, from one of her friends, I learned that she had moved to New York with her boyfriend, and I didn't see her until 2 months months ago. I had a fairly good relationship with my sister, but I didn't expect her to end contact with me. After high school, I started working a full-time job and also began a side hustle. After about 2.5 years, my side hustle began generating a substantial income, exceeding my job salary. Consequently, I left my job and focused on my side hustle full-time. Now, I am a successful businessman and doing very well for myself. 2 months ago, I found out that my sister had been arrested for possession of drugs with intent to distribute, as well as for the possession of illegal firearms. Now she is facing a long time in jail. Many of my relatives visited her in jail, but initially, I was not ready to meet her because she had cut off ties with me. However, due to my uncle's insistence, I agreed and met her. When I asked where she had been for so many years, she shared her story with me. She explained that she had married her boyfriend, and everything was going well until she had her first pregnancy. Unfortunately, she had a premature birth, and her baby contracted meningitis, ultimately passing away 3 months after birth. 2 months after this tragedy, her husband also passed away. These consecutive deaths were devastating for her. After a year of struggling, she managed to overcome the trauma, but during this time, she fell into drug addiction. About a year later, she entered a relationship with another man named James, who was also struggling with addiction. After some time, she became pregnant again, but her boyfriend was not prepared for a child. He suggested she have an abortion, but my sister refused. This led to arguments between them, ultimately resulting in their breakup. After that, she moved back to her hometown and started living with one of her old friends. When I asked her why she didn't come to me, she explained that she felt ashamed for leaving me during a difficult time and had cut off all contact with me. I forgave her for the past, but the current issue is that she recently gave birth to a baby girl, my niece, who was born addicted to heroin just a few days ago. The baby is still in the hospital, going through withdrawal, and it's absolutely heartbreaking to see. This poor baby is innocent in all of this, and it kills me to think about the rough start she's having. My uncles and aunts are pressuring me to adopt the baby. They believe I'm the most stable one in the family and should step up. No one else can afford to take in the baby. They say I have my own place, a steady income, and no major responsibilities or kids of my own, making me the best option. While I technically could do it, I don't feel ready. I am afraid to take on the huge responsibility of caring for a newborn with special needs. I feel overwhelmed because I have no experience in raising a child, especially one who has already faced so many challenges. I never really wanted children of my own. Despite expressing my concerns to my family, they insist that I should take her in to prevent her from entering the foster care system. My aunt, whom I have always treated as my mom, even accused me of abandoning my niece, similar to how my sister did by getting involved with heroin. I am feeling overwhelmed, as the baby is due to be discharged from the hospital soon, and my family's expectations are increasing. I care deeply for my niece and want to ensure she doesn't suffer. However, I am anxious about providing her with a good life and fear feeling trapped or resentful in the future. I am totally confused about it, and don't know whether I am in the wrong or not. Do you think I am the jerk for not wanting to take in my drug-addicted niece? OP is being a little AH for not adopting his niece when she needed him the most. He might not like children, but I think it is his moral responsibility to support his niece. So, I would give OP 2.5 out of 5 on the AH scale. What do the Mac Reddit fans think? Is the OP an AH or not? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like the stories I brought you, just hit the like button, share them as much as you can, and don't forget to subscribe to Mac Reddit for a daily dose. Bye bye, see you tomorrow with some more spicy fries.